Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 1, and this report is all about tourism and hospitality issues induced by globalization. And my topic is all about the globalization and its effect on tourism development. To introduce myself first, I am Juliana Guzman, and this report is continuation or additional information about our topic. So, globalization and its effect on tourism development. What is globalization? It is the process by which business or other organization develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. This definition is from Oxford Language, and we have another definition from Wikipedia, and it says that it's a process of interaction and relation among people, companies, and governments worldwide. So, we have the globalization in tourism. First, let us identify what is tourism. Tourism has long been claimed as a crucial force shaping globalization, but in turn, the developments of the tourism sector are under the influence of growing interdependence across the world. Globalization is not only the supply side of countries and is bound by strong economic ties through tourism activities, such that tourism demand exhibits lens across countries. So, how globalization affects tourism markets? Globalization has created easier and more affordable ways to travel. This means that tourists can now choose from a wide range of destinations, leaving behind developing countries that may not have the infrastructure of or technology needed to welcome larger visitors. First, we have the commodification and trivialization of local cultures. Commodification means transforming something into product for commercial purposes. It's an item to be bought and sold in the market. So we have the example. The traditional houses of presidents that deliberately renovated to become a home stay then offered to the tourist. It's renovated. From the word renovated, it is from an old house and become offered to the tourist. Then how does commodification affect local cultures? The most important contribution of commodification is that local people can gain cultural self-consciousness and become proud of their own culture. And what is the importance of commodification? It is inclusion. Commodification brings advantages in the business environment and provides opportunities for developing new products and services which meet the increasing demands of the customer for their changing needs and wishes. Next is the homogenization. It is a process of making things uniform and similar. So, what is homogenization and globalization? This refers to the reduction of the cultural diversity through the popularization and diffusion of a wide range of cultural symbols, not only physical objects, but customs, ideas, and values. Homogenization in all cities of the world look the same, experiencing the diversity of clothing styles, dishes, and cultures was once a main reason to visit cities. Today, as one traveler around the world, one finds that many airports, hotels, and cities are more or less the same mistakes that one of traveling. Example, you are a traveler. There is an example that you are today's traveler, and it's find that they're more found out that they're more fun in traveling. So, what is homogenization in tourism? This refers to the decrease in cultural diversity, giving way for more global culture, thus diminishing local cultures. So, I have additional for other ways that globalization has affected the tourism industry, we have the positive, the increased mobility. So increased mobility, in globalization, it has made it easier to travel the world. There are bigger flights separating companies are opening offices everywhere. There are international credit card companies across the world, and changing currencies is easier and more convenient than during any other time in history. This has added tourism in a big way. So we have in increased global mobility, it is very easy to travel. And the second is the free flow of information. It is a second and the positive way, positive effect of globalization in the hospitality industry or tourism industry. Free flow of information in this globalization has made it easy for travel enthusiasts to discover hidden travel destinations. There are more senior citizens in the developed countries today, and due to the increased circulation of information, this non-working population is making more international trips than ever before. So, aside from positive, there is always negative. The first is the tourism. It is increased the globalization comes with some negatives too. There are groups such as Boko Haram, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda are able to send their terror message easily and faster thanks to social media. That's resulting from terrorism are also on the rise because globalization has made it easier for weapons and criminals to move freely between different countries. This hurts tourism in a big way. So second is the cultural illusion. The richness of a given culture determines whether or not to visit will be attracted to it. But with globalization's continuous many people are losing their cultures and adapting foreign tradition. In short, this is killing the tourism sector. So, globalization is felt particularly in less developed countries, many of which see tourism as an important development option. Unfortunately, developing tourism can require the poor countries have to take up billion-dollar loans to build the necessary infrastructure for tourism development, and this can be a problem because they may not be able to pay back their debts. Airports, roads, hotels, and restaurants and theme parks may be built, but they are of little use to locals who cannot afford to fly or stay in those hotels. So, tax concession. So, what is tax concession or tax holiday? It is a government incentive program that offers a temporary tax reduction or elimination that consumes a business. It is a temporary tax break, and it's synonymous with tax abatement, tax subsidy, or tax reduction. Example, the state have sales tax holidays on appliances. So, if you are a resident in that place who wants to buy an energy-efficient washing machine, consider to buy it until the tax holiday. This will let you save money by paying no sales tax on your new appliances. So that's end my report. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Grace Tiaguanta, and for today's video, I will tackle about the driving forces of globalization as well as the cultural homogenization. First is technological development. It is the overall process of invention, innovation, and diffusion of technology or processes. Globalization has been facilitated by two technologies, which is the development of transportation technology and the rapid development of internet technology. For example, the television. Before, during the 80s, the television was only black and white, and in 1953, the television is colored. So it is a technological development from what it is during the invention, dayon nagka-upgrade siya with the help of the other scientists of people. That is a technological development. The development of transportation technology has reduced the time cost and monetary cost of the long-distance travel. There are now low-cost carriers such as Spring Airlines in the mainland, Tiger Airways in Singapore, EasyJet in UK, offering low fares which enable not so wealthy passengers who are willing to accept few in-flight services to travel. Development of transportation technology. So in here, long-distance travel is less expensive in terms of time and money and provide affordable tickets. For example, is the maglev train of Japan, South Korea, and China, but it was originally invented in Japan that uses two sets of electromagnetic. It is the world's fastest passenger trains now in operation and offers cheap fare and efficient mode of transportation. The rapid development of the internet technology in recent years has facilitated international communication and enabled potential travelers to explore the attraction in a destination and search for small businesses. Rapid development of internet technology. So the rapid development of internet technology allows the tourists to facilitate international communication and also helps to find, search, and explore tourist attraction, local small businesses with the help of it. Economic drivers refer to fundamental data about the economy or market that influences business performance. For example, the economic growth, percentage of unemployment, inflation, interest and exchange rates, and commodities such as oil, steel, gold, and etc. prices. Increased familiarity with own country. Westerners are more experienced and knowledgeable who have now grown familiar with their own country and similar countries of the West. The good example here is the Chinese in recent years also fit in this description. The more affluent travel to the most well-known locations in the mainland and Hong Kong, so they now seek out fresh and far-off locations. Political factors can be defined in terms of government policies that are designed to facilitate trade and commerce in view of globalizations. Political factors include government policies, leadership and change foreign trade policies, internal political issues and trends, tax policy, regulation and deregulation trends. It involves the decision and laws that government make. Technological factors are variables that are being used for evaluating available alternatives with respect to technological capabilities. Organizations consider it as an important tool of improving operations and functions. Technology plays an important role in expediting the process of globalizations. Technological factors include production of techniques, information and communication resources, production, logistics, marketing, and e-commerce technologies. These affect how an organization operates, sells its products, interacts with, and gather intelligence on customers, suppliers, as well as competitors. It is conceived as major facilitator and a driving force in the globalizations. Technological improvements has allowed companies to rapidly globalize their products. And lastly is the social factors. Brings cultural convergence that is increasing similarity throughout the world through significant reduction in transport and communications costs. When we say cultural convergence, it is when culture become more alike with increased interaction. Nowadays, the cost of transmitting information is almost negligible, shrinking the world to one single market. Cultural homogenization is one of the potential negative consequences of globalizations and tourism. According to O'Connor, define it as the process by which local cultures are transformed or absorbed by a dominant outside cultures. Cultural homogenization. It refers in major tourist destinations use the same kind of things, eat similar food, and have similar lifestyle as well as people in developing countries. Cultural homogenization is an aspect of cultural globalization listed as one of its main characteristics and refers to the reduction of cultural diversity through the popularization and diffusion of a wide array of cultural symbols. not only physical objects, but customs, ideas, as well as values. For example, the non-American culture affecting the West include world music and the popularizations of non-American televisions, such as the Latin American telenovelas, the Japanese anime. So there are advantages and disadvantages of cultural homogenizations. The advantages are communication will be easier across borders, while the disadvantages are people will have no ability to escape one's own culture if they don't like it. Kay it needs respect kay naman ta sa laing lugar. Demonstration effect is the people in host destination, especially in developing countries, copy the lifestyle of the tourist. Demonstration effect. For example, parents may take care of their parents to create demonstration effect by which their children later care for them. Destination bringing in Western products to satisfy the tourist. Though the most tourists wish to look the exotic elements in other cultures during their tour, they still expect to enjoy the daily amenities that they enjoy at home. That is to say, even they look for exotic elements in other cultures, such as, for example, the balut here in Philippines, they still desire food and beverages as well as hot shower, cozy mattresses, and immediate news from home. Last but not the least is the multinational corporation have taken the opportunities to extend their services to various places in the world to satisfy the needs of Western tourists. Any corporation that is registered and operates in more than one country at a time. For example, is the McDonald's, the Apple Store,
Hello everyone, I am Apple A. Anoya reporting about mass tourism and sustainability. Since the beginning of the 19th century, tourism opportunities were becoming more available to the lower classes of the United Kingdom and many European countries. England first introduced the European spa movement, in which the industrial working class went to the seaside to enjoy spa activities. This movement later extended to various European countries such as Germany, France, and Italy. After the Second World War, it became popular for people to join standardized and all-inclusive package tour for their holiday. The term mass tourism was used to describe this kind of activity. Many different forms of mass tourism exist, but the common are mass beach tourism like sand, sea, and sand tourism, and mass winter sports. What causes mass tourism? Causes of or reason for mass tourism: improvements in communications, road, rail, and air travel, purpose-built resorts, spa, and holiday camps, increase in paid time of work following the 1871 Bank Holiday Act, ability to finance time off work with holiday pay following the 1938 Holidays with Pay Act. Who invented mass tourism? Thomas Cook. This form of tourism developed during the second half of the 19th century in the United Kingdom and was pioneered by Thomas Cook. Is mass tourism sustainable? Mass tourism is responsible for environmental problems, cultural commodification, and a general decline in the living standards of the locals. Tourism on a large scale has been shown to increase pollution and be generally detrimental to the local natural environment. Is mass tourism sustainable? So there are positive and negative effects of mass tourism. Example for positive is jobs created. And the negative, jobs are often seasonal based on the time of year and are poorly paid. Next is positive, more money for the country. And the negative is most money goes out of the area to big companies, not locals. How does mass tourism affect culture? Mass tourism provides them with an opportunity to learn different cultures and customs. tourists come into contact with different types of attire, food, festival, language, and belief that are practiced by local people. Locals can also get to know many different things from tourists. Exploitation and fur trade. Exploitation. Tourism development has been once considered to help poor countries. Tourism enables the countries to earn foreign exchange income, create jobs, and achieve economic growth. However, a critical evaluation of the development of tourism in some developing countries reveals that this is not all a happy stories. The countries can be exploited by multinational companies of developed countries, and the benefits of tourism can be limited. This can be explained by the several factors. What causes exploitation? Child labor and exploitation are the result of many factors, including poverty, social norms, lack of decent work opportunities for adults and adolescents, migration and emergencies. These factors are not only the cause but also a consequence of social inequities reinforced by discrimination. Example of exploitation: taking advantage of someone's need for a job and paying them only to perform work so you can get rich is an example of exploitation, the act of employing to the greatest possible advantage. Second, staff exploitation in the global travel industry. For example, ridiculously low wages, long hours under pressure without a break, and unhealthy conditions for live-in staff to inappropriate sexual behavior by either bosses or clients. And thus, poverty and limited options for employment often keeps many in unfair conditions at best, and cruel or unhuman ones at worst. Are the several factors of exploitation. First, concessions given to the multinational companies. Because the developing countries are not able in providing high-quality services demanded by the international travelers, many governments in developing countries granted tax concessions to multinational investors and developers as incentives for them to build tourism infrastructure such as hotels and resorts. 2. Low-paid jobs provided. Many employees in the tourism sector need specific qualifications, such as foreign language proficiency. However, local people in destination areas often do not have such qualifications and education, and training schools are not even present. 3. The ban on local natural resources. Due to the limited bargaining power of the developing countries, the multinational tourism investors, the government of the destination to follow the requirements and conditions. Otherwise, they will not be willing to invest in some projects. D. Economic leakage. With the advancement of communication technology, major corporations nowadays can develop strategic alliance to enhance their competitive advantage. Some international travel companies provide the entire package of services to the traveler, from itinerary planning and purchasing of tickets, right through travel, accommodation, food, and local tours. Thank you.
So add on to my report. So the example of a fair trade product, first is we have Starbucks for their coffee, the Marks and Spencer for their coffee, their tea, the wine, and the chocolates. So in the Philippines, there are currently 3 fair small producer organization. The first one is the Dama Farm Workers Agrarian Reform Beneficiaries Association. So they produce cane sugar. Next is Nakalag Padilla Workers Association. They also grow cane sugar. And the last one is the Fair Trade Farmers Credit Cooperative that produce oilseed and coconut. Some supermarket in the country like Rostan's, SM, and Metro already sell some imported fair trade products. Specialty stores like Healthy Options and duty-free shops are also doing the same. So we have the benefits of fair trade in tourism by Morning Sun Nature Resort. The first one is minimal impact on the environment. Many travel destinations are trying to reduce their impact on the environment. This includes using alternative renewable and sustainable energy. So number 2, provides jobs for the locals. Fair trade in tourism helps to create job opportunities for the local communities. And tourists are also encouraged to buy local, helping to support small businesses. Number 3, it helps to preserve the local culture. Preserving the local culture of the place is one of the most important things in the tourism industry because experiencing the unique culture of different places is one of the greatest aspects of travel. Number 4, preserve historic buildings and neighborhoods. Preservation of historic buildings is important because they are the physical manifestation of the past. They tell people who they are and where they came from. Saving the historic buildings and neighborhoods of the city or village is about saving the heart and soul of the community. So number 5, it benefits the local community. Fair trade in tourism helps in benefiting the local community of the place. It is all about shopping locally and giving money to the local community. This helps in maintaining and preserving the essence of that place. Number 6, travel is more enjoyable. So when tourists have the knowledge that they are helping to support the local communities in the natural environment, travel can be much more enjoyable. When travel is about mutual benefits for both visitors and locals, everyone involved can have a more positive experience. Number 7, tourists learn and grow more. Responsible travelers tend to leave a place with much more knowledge about it than they had before they arrived. Tourists learn from the local people they met and the historic and heritage sites they visit, and from the many sights, sounds, and tastes to which they are exposed to along the way. Number 8, deeper connections are formed. Fair trade in tourism ensures that connections with locals come more easily. Number 9, it helps to avoid the displacement of local communities. When a destination emerges a popular place for tourists, it can mean a great influx of economic prosperity to the area. However, the arrival of mass tourism can seriously disturb successful local communities. So the last one is preserving the destinations for future travelers. It is also important for tourists to keep nature and culture maintained for the coming generations. Fair trade in tourism helps to promote the sustainable tourism by realizing that one day future travelers will travel to the same places, and so they should be maintained properly from right now.